Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Twisted Koi. How we doing out there, cupcakes? And this is a little short video with our lesser spotted Ricardo. He's going to give you some do's and don'ts for your grow and show with a difference fry. Do's and don'ts, Rick.
Well, when you get them, if you want to float them. Don't open the bag. Float with the bag done up, so they're in with the oxygen. When you do open the bags, put them in, just pour them in. Don't try and net them out. Or the water will look a funny colour, but it's not because it's manky. It's because of the clay and the algae and where they're coming from. It's not that the water's rank. There'll be no ammonia in it.
Yeah.
So just literally pour them into wherever they're going. Food-wise, they will start taking the smaller crumb type foods, but I still would say if you can do the live foods, you'll just do better with them. And combine the two, those that are doing brine shrimp and got live food, feed a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Mix it up so they're not going straight onto dust. You know, if you're feeding live food, you've got dust, you put them in the eel, then the next day you just hit them with dust. Or if you can give them a bit of both for a few days,
Yeah.
then they will transition better, but they seem really ravenously up for everything. They're packing everything in the pond.
They're
they
huge.
They're doing all right for their age. The colours are looking bob on. Yeah.
Now, I've just said, I've been asked a couple of times about putting them into a body of water that's had salt up to 0.3 or higher.
Yeah, well, that comes from the older fry. So our older fry, not so much, but stuff coming from Cuttlebrook and from Adam Byer, they're coming back out of mud ponds or whatever. They're incredibly stressed. So to have the salt at 0.6 is quite a safe way to set them in. Otherwise, you can have bacterial problems and they'll roll over. So that's something that we don't dissuade people to do. Certainly with these, there's no need. If they're going in on their own, they are there should be absolutely no need to have salt in there. If you want, you do it. They'll be fine. Not going to upset them, but there's no need to. And you shouldn't need to have any salt with these until some point where you're going to stress them with other fish, put them through a hardening up process, which we'd probably want to be doing back end of the summer.
Yeah.
They're 4 or 5 inches long, and you want to start introducing them into your pond or do whatever with them. Then what we normally recommend is take a fish from where they're going, put it in with the fry that's similar size, have the salt up, stand back, and then deal with the consequences in
Afterwards,
that environment, where it's a lot easier to deal with. Food-wise, little off and just feed them as much as your system will take. So if you can feed them 10 times a day, and make sure there's no food not being eaten, but 10 little feeds a day, and they will do even better for you. And temperature-wise, anything from probably 16 to 32 degrees is safe. Growth-wise, upper 20s, you'll get the best growth, but then will split, and you'll find that some will just fly and others will drop off.
Yeah.
Whereas if you keep them at the lower end, they will grow more steadily together. To let you sort of split them up and separate them out. Looking at the way they've gone, I reckon we're only 3 weeks away from being able to do a first cull on them. They have.
Well, Carl was just saying there that these are going out as 3 weeks old, the same size that they would be.
Now, so the whole point was to try and get them to this. This is exactly what I was trying to do, which is why I didn't put many in the pond. They've had the best conditions I could possibly give them, and I don't think there's going to be a spare fish in the pond. It's literally, I'm not even getting myself. It's going to be to the wire.
Like I said, bro, I don't mind just taking 50 home. That's not a problem.
But yeah, so at the end of the day, yeah, they are going to, given the way they're going, those that can give them a good environment, I'm expecting by the 1st of November people to have 20 to 25 cm fish from these, which is
Is
You might say when you look at them, you might think that's crazy, but actually, I think that will be doable.
it's definitely doable.
Yeah, and obviously what they look like at the minute look good, but it's a crossing we've never done before. that's the whole joy of it. Everyone knows what the two parents look like. We've got video and I think footage of them or whatever. So you know roughly what you probably want to be expecting. My money's probably on the. So you'll see as soon as you get them, there's 3 distinct types. You sort of plainly yellowy looking ones, which is the bulk. They're all going to be your Harawakis, Kikusuis,
Platinum
all the single coloured and patterned light stuff. The ones with the black in the head, and that was going to change so quickly from black in the head to through the body. They will go from looking like yellowfish to blackfish. That's all your Matsumas and Kajakus, and I think they're going to be the best.
Yeah.
Could be completely wrong. And then the black ones, we were looking at about 10% black, which would be your Kin Showas, Kin Cute Series, Kin whatever, your black based ones. Again, it could be good, but they're keeping pace, to be fair. They've not dropped away too much.
No.
Now they're split down to these numbers, being careful by you lovely people that you should be keeping. People say, "Oh, you're going to lose half." You shouldn't. If you put these in the right place and don't suck them down a pump or mix them with other fish, I expect everyone to be keeping 199 of them. Literally, there should be no losses unless there's a health issue that is starting that will then carry on, and we'll all know that because it happens to all of us. We're all going to do the same thing. So, and it can happen. You know, they might have Costia that's come through from my hands when I've done them at such low levels, but in 2 weeks it'll have built up, and all of us will suddenly see an issue.
Yeah.
You shouldn't lose any when you go onto the dust foods. If you overdo it, you sometimes can see them almost like their bellies split. Just don't go crazy.
Yeah.
With the amount you're putting in, wean them slowly and build them onto it. They look pin straight at the minute, which is ideal. Water quality, if you keep water quality good, they should stay straight. The next 4 weeks is when the cartilage becomes bone, and that's when the deformations can occur, because obviously it's soft.
So what are the best things to avoid to stop things like that happening? Flared gills, deformations.
Flared gill stuff is just from gill irritation, so it can be a parasite problem, but it's normally water quality. When you overstock them, the levels you're buying are so small, nobody should be having that problem. But it only takes a tiny amount of ammonia to irritate the gills, and then you get that gill flare you see on fish that's just horrible looking.
Yeah. I have seen fish settle back down from gill flare though.
Yeah, I've never seen one come back from it, especially if it's the bone structure. But sometimes you'll get the skin, not the bone, will be sort of flared.
Yeah.
And that is a bit more manageable.
That was what.
But in reality, yeah, you shouldn't. No one should be having a pneumonia problem with these for ages until you're putting enough food in to be polluting your system. By which time they should be going on to the bigger foods, which are easier to deal with. So
there's quite a few people out there that, like me, have got an IBC tank set up already with Daphnia and stuff in. How long would you leave it before you started up filtration?
Whilst there's live food in there, you want to have the filtration off. At the moment there's no live food in there, start the filtration. The trouble with Daphnia stuff, if you run the filters, you're just going to suck out your live food before you start. So, but you'll probably find that you put 200 of these into your IBC, 24 hours later, you won't have any live food left. So you can start the filters pretty much straight away. So, yeah.
Right, those ones I took Monday. It's taken, I think it's just over 48 hours for them to nail all that Daphnia that was in there.
Yeah, these are nail it faster. These are bigger.
And that's with me giving them brine shrimp, and I'm also giving a little pinch of the crumb across the top.
Yeah.
And
they'll feed the things that they'll feed 24 hours a day. So the people that do well, will, obviously, if they're on live food, they will eat continually. Those that can be there to feed little and often once they get going will get away better with them because they're there. Little and often's key, and they will feed 24 hours a day, and they will grow 24 hours a day, and they will, they're on course for centimetre a week, and that's those that are really going to try and grow them properly. That's just your target.
Yeah.
That's seems mad, but yeah, those that can do it have got the temperature, can do the food, they will fly. But then obviously you have to then keep filling them down. That's where some people might struggle to start rejecting them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quicker you get them down to your best 20 and push those 20, you'll get the best results.
Yeah.
From them.
And major things to steer clear of and not to do?
Not really. They're pretty tolerant of everything except for being mixed with other fish. As soon as, their immune system, if they're not being challenged by anything, they're not using any energy on their immune system really, because they're not fighting anything.
Yeah.
The minute they're sort of compromised and having to fight parasites, bacteria, your growth will drop right off.
Yeah.
The fish, even if they sort of feed, won't, they're using so much of their reserves to deal with that, you're not going to get maximum conversion. You want, at the minute, everything they're eating is just turning into fish.
Yeah.
And that's, if people that got them inside where you can play with light levels and whatever, you can go into 24-hour lighting and you just run them and they will just keep growing. Who knows? Everyone can do stuff different and we'll get different results. You might find that those that really do grow them well find the quality is not so good. You might, for someone in the middle of the ground that only grows into 10 centimetres, have the prettiest looking fish.
Yeah.
And find the details. I don't know if they're going to develop food for, obviously 25% Deutsch ones all look like linears, so they'll have a nicer sort of scalation and shape.
Yeah.
But those that have got tanks will see that a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So the simple things, like I say, putting them. People say, fry cages. I just do my head in. They don't like being in a cage. They will just spend their entire time trying to get out of the cage. If you put brine shrimp in there, the brine shrimp gets out of the cage, and it's doable.
Carnage.
But it's no good. It's not your best way. You're much better off if you're going to run a pump, having the pump in the cage and the fish in the tank, and that's not as easy to go through them. People like the fact that in a cage you can lift the cage up to sort them out, but it's just not really feasible. But each to their own. There's enough lots going out, enough different people growing them.
Yep.
So
Sean's just had his fry up.
there's kebab, isn't he?
I had a little pie from
I went to the kebab house 10 o'clock after football. I played football, went to the kebab house and bought us some munchies last night. So that's what I've been eating all day, all night, all day. That's what I've got for breakfast, kebab and pizza.
Cold kebab and pizza.
Nah, that's in the microwave.
Oh no.
Kebab on pizza, you can't go wrong. So
Good luck. Have fun.
1st of November, I expect to see every single people firing back top end.
Top end. A top end picture of a top end fish.
And like I say, if you find that you're doing really well or really badly, just speak to people. It might be a simple.
But that's the whole point of the Telegram group.
When they'll tolerate pHs from sort of 6 to 11, they are tolerant. They don't like big changes, but they'll tolerate it if that's. Don't worry if your tank's got pH of 9.5 because the algae's growing. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
So oxygen's not really generally a problem for them until they get bigger. So ammonia, but the numbers of fish is just so low that by the time they're big enough to be eaten enough to produce enough ammonia to be a problem, you should be well on top of your filtration and what else you're doing. So that's
Sweet.
and hopefully we've got enough for those that are having them Sunday.
So yeah, there we go. The only thing I would like is there are a few people still not got in touch with me via a message, so I can then add you to the Telegram group. I am going to go through the list in a minute and knock off the ones that are in the Telegram group, but if you haven't got my number or don't know of anyone that knows me that's got my number, my email is in my channel description. Email me with your phone number and your details, and then I will add you to the group. Other than that, as always guys, I've been Twisted Koi. As we know, he's the lesser spotted Ricardo, munching on
Kebab and pizza.
cold kebab and pizza. Something wrong with him, I'm telling you. I'm surprised he hasn't coated it in fucking chili sauce. Anyway, we'll catch you later.
Good old fashioned.
That's all, cupcakes.